Now, I'd like you to talk about something together for about 3 minutes. This task will have 2 parts. In the first part, you will discuss something with each other for about 2 minutes. Then, in the second part, you will have another minute to make a decision together. All right, let's begin with the discussion task. Citizens worldwide are suffering when it comes to their quality of life due to the negative effects of climate change. Here are some solutions to tackle climate change. First, you have some time to look at the task. Let's use the 2-1 method. I'll start with practice recycling and reduce use of plastic. I'll continue with save electricity and use renewable energy. Then I'll talk about protect forest. And I'll end with eat less meat. Now talk to each other about the solutions to tackle climate change. There are a myriad of solutions when it comes to solving climate change. Firstly, everyone should practice recycling paper, plastic, and aluminium in their daily lives. This will reduce the need to extract raw materials and manufacture new products, which will in turn decrease greenhouse gases in the atmosphere. Secondly, you should reduce the use of plastic by bringing your own reusable bags for shopping. Plastic is toxic to the environment as it is made out of fossil fuels and is non-biodegradable, contaminating our land, water, and food. What are some other solutions, Surya? Thank you for passing the baton. There are a multitude of other solutions. We could save electricity by switching off fans, lights, and air conditioning when they are not in use, as well as only using the washing machine to run full loads of laundry before drying it out in the sun. This is good as a major source of electricity is coal and gas, so the less of it you use, the less carbon dioxide is released to the air. Even better yet is the strategy of using renewable energy to produce electricity. For example, using solar panels and wind turbines comes with 0 carbon emissions. Do you have another opinion, Nila? Yes, I'm thinking about how protecting forests can save the planet as trees absorb carbon dioxide. Conservation efforts, which include regulated and selective logging, as well as the practice of replanting trees, ensures responsible business practices, as well as the survival of forests for future generations. Is there anything else you would like to add, Surya? Yes, I want to explore eating less meat as a viable option to reduce climate change. Cows, goats, and sheep release methane, which is bad for the environment. Plus, there are so many alternative protein sources such as tofu, tempeh, and beans of all kinds. That's all from me. Shall we end the discussion? Yes, thank you. Thank you. Now you have about a minute to decide together which is the most effective solution to tackle climate change. Nowadays, I'm thinking about what has the biggest impact. So I'm going with protecting forests. Imagine the number of trees in a forest. Hundreds, thousands, millions. Imagine the number of years it takes for trees to mature, from 10 years to 100 years. Moreover, they can live for thousands of years to come. And in all that time, every single day, they turn carbon dioxide into oxygen through photosynthesis. There are billions of people on Earth, and we engage in human activities that produce greenhouse gases. So trees act as a natural countermeasure. And that's what makes it the most effective solution. Do you agree, Surya? Of course, forests are such a huge part of the ecosystem of life. I would even take it a step further by saying that rather than conservation efforts, we need to prioritize preserving forests. So, no human activities, no logging, no farming, no development, just letting the forest be. The government needs to gazette more land as permanent forest reserves. Our global temperatures are at an all-time high. We need drastic measures to save the planet. We don't need more development. We need protection for the world's natural carbon sinks. What's the point of building another skyscraper when Earth as a planet becomes unlivable? Exactly. Well said. So we've reached a consensus that protecting forests is the most effective solution to tackle climate change. Am I right? Yes, thank you. Thank you. Can I have the booklet, please? You've been talking about the solutions to tackle climate change. Now let's hear your opinion on this. Even though many are aware of the negative effects of climate change, why does progress to tackle it continue to be slow? That's a great question. I believe progress is slow because change is costly. Our economy has been built on infrastructure that uses fossil fuels as a major source of energy. Millions of cars, buses, and lorries currently use petrol and diesel. If we were to switch to electric, it would incur a high price. Furthermore, building accessible charging stations would also require a lot of money. Even solar panels and wind turbines are an expensive investment to set up. They help us in the long run, but businesses are blinded by short-term gain. What do you think, Surya? Absolutely. I see your point of view. I also believe this is an issue of a lack of collective action. For big change, we need big buy-in. One person can make a difference by, say, fixing solar panels on their home, but the whole community has to follow suit to make an even bigger difference. Moreover, the burden of responsibility should not lie solely on citizens, but rather on corporations and governments. These factories are the ones who are using vast amounts of fossil fuels for their operations. They need to switch to more environmentally friendly practices. Furthermore, the government needs to enforce laws and regulations which prioritize climate change initiatives. Ultimately, all countries must be on the same page so progress is not slow. Absolutely. We cannot give up. We only have one Earth. We have to believe it's possible. We all came together to tackle COVID. We can stand united to tackle climate change too. True, though it seems like an insurmountable task, we have to take the first step forward and try all the solutions we can think of. Thank you, Nila and Surya. That's the end of the speaking test.